Hey guys, how we doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. Just a little bit earlier than usual with our Bitcoin wrap up for the day because I have to be out this evening. So straight over to the charts. So you can see we got that move up to the next, basically to the next zone we were looking at. Like we got that move above 9,800 and it triggered a pretty much triggered a bit more of a move upwards. That's basically what I'm saying. But yeah, we didn't quite get to the top of the range, but we'd already come from quite far underneath, basically about the middle of the last range. So it was still a good move up. You can see here we had this pretty vicious doji looking candle, which candlestick analysis tells you once you break above the top of that doji candle, that's when you want to buy, and that's the next candle pretty much went through it, went up, and then obviously went up and up and up. So yeah, some nice candlestick analysis for you. Obviously long tails are bullish, basically. That's something that you'll learn pretty quickly in trade. I'm sure you guys know that anyway. But yeah, you get these long tails, that means prices getting bought back up pretty quick, and that's generally bullish. So obviously you can see you get bought back up here, and we're looking good at the moment for a move up. Obviously we got our moves down here, these long wicks, and then that was good for price. And down here when we had our big move down, I'll come back quite far. Our big moves down here, these big wicks down here, those big long wicks were obviously good, and then we got bought back up. So long wicks like that to the low side do often signify a bullish price action, a bullish market. It's basically sort of a liquidity hunt, a stop loss hunt below for over leveraged positions. But yeah, you can see we got really nicely supported by a support zone, and then yeah, pretty much catapulted straight through the top of the next support zone. So at the moment we are currently sat on that support zone around the basically nearly 9,000, roughly 9,800, basically where we are now. So we would like to see ourselves stay within this zone, ideally, and then just grind it out here a bit. But I mean, this obviously was from this here to here. This is quite a large move. When you do see large moves, you often see a retrace to the midpoint. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a move back down to, like, say around 9,600, just around this sort of support top level here. And then maybe get a more sustained hold above here. But failing that, though, we can just stay here. We can just stay around 9,800. And then, I mean, then basically next stop's 10,000. I mean, there isn't really any that important levels that we can really say in this range. But yeah, obviously this 10,000 levels pretty important, and if we get up to there again, I think I've said to you, you guys know that I've said to you guys that if we get back above here, then I'm pretty sure we're onwards and upwards, especially with this long tail. This clear like whipsaw stop out action that we had going on, and yeah, I mean, you can see here we had a similar thing on a smaller time frame. See if we can go over to a time frame where we can see it better. That obviously wasn't it. Yeah, it was, but you can see what happened was we moved down pretty sharply, and then moved up very quick. I mean, it's the scammy nature of Bitcoin. We all know that, but at least this one wasn't quite as extreme as this one or ones we've had in the past. So not to worry about that. I'm sure a lot of you guys were short and were glad to get out your shorts, and people then had orders to buy and they were glad to get their longs. I mean, that's partly why price action moves does this when it's generally bullish, because what you have is the people that are in shorts, like sort of trapped in shorts, they'll have orders in to get out, and they just want to get out the trade because the market, they just think the market's generally going up, but they're in a short. And then you get people that aren't in a short, aren't in a long, that want to buy, so they have orders in to buy down these levels. So when the shorts are comfortable staying short and selling more basically into these buy orders, to keep price going down, if they're not comfortable in doing that and they actually cover their shorts and actually buy back their positions, I mean, that's a lot of upward pressure, and that's basically bullish. That shows us people willing to buy down here, the shorts willing to cover down here, and that literally propels the price up. And that is literally the market dynamics that makes this happen and why it is bullish. So there we go. Not too much to say. Let's have a look at the 12 hour. So I'm guessing these have turned back up now like we wanted. Yeah, so 12-hour Stokes have turned back up. This is what we were after in this morning's video. We were talking about 12-hour Stokes turning back up. Once we start moving back up, I mean that's it. That is it for me. If we come back up to this trend line, we will be we'll be heading for 10.5k and beyond. Basically, we've got up there. We got up there once. We've we've taken out all the resting orders. We had a big sell, whatever that was, limited market order or whatever. But anyway, let's just ignore it. Let's just ignore it. I mean, because it just gets in the way of our analysis and it's clear scammy behavior. But anyway, so if we get back up here again, like we did that time, I do expect this time to basically us to catapult through and bull market 2020 begins. Obviously, we can still have downside, as bullish as this is looking. Obviously, downside is still possible, clearly. And I mean, where I'd be looking for is basically the same, guys. I know we've moved up further, but we're still not clear through this range. If we drop back into this zone, that's not necessarily bearish for me. It's perfectly fine for us to still consolidate more in here and move up. But again, it's the same level. It's this around 9,000. Between 9,300 and 9,400. Lose that level, and it's not massively bearish in its own self. That would basically, I think, get us down to around the bottom of the pennant, around 9,000, and then we just have to see what happens when we get there. We just have to see how market reacts to that price, whether we get reversed there or whether we do break lower. And obviously 8,600, as we know, is our larger time frame. We lose that level, then we are coming down to around probably probably around 7,000, I'd say, at least. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Sorry, we're on the 12-hour here. Yeah, you'd expect us to make our way around to about, I mean, that's clearly 5,000, but you never know where we eventually would turn around. I mean, look, you can see we don't have to come all the way to the bottom of the pennant. This level would make a lot of sense. Basically, this is around 7,000. So yeah, that would obviously be our first target if we broke 8,600. We would expect, we would hope we get turned around, just form a massive inverse head and shoulders and rocket our way through. But if we do lose that level, then yeah, I mean, this is the next level, about 5,000. But can I see that happening? No. Does lots of things I don't expect happen in markets happen basically every day? Yes. So just make of that what you will. But yeah, so what I will also say is we have one of my favorite time frame 9 candles, 4-hour 9. You will note this was this move here was also basically a 4-hour 9, turned into a 1 look here. Well, obviously it was nearly a 4-hour 9. It was a 4-hour 8, and this nearly was a 9. And then yes, we've got a 4-hour 9 here. So maybe we're going to get that weakness. Maybe we're just going to come back, test the top of this trend line, test what is that level, around 9,500. There's nothing wrong with that at all. As long as we don't get through 9,300 and we pretty much get bought up. But it's looking bullish. This price action here, this doji candle, this big move up, I would be very surprised if we do get down to here, regardless of what this 4-hour 9 is telling us. Just based on just this price action, looks very bullish. I don't see that all of a sudden we're going to just give that up and then come back down. But obviously anything can happen. 12-hour Stokes are our main thing though. We basically stay up here. This is going to turn up and start moving upwards, and it's game on, guys. Daily Stokes, they never basically went down, did they? Let's see if they want to load or not. Apologies for this little bit of a delay that we have going on. I'm sure it will work eventually. If not, we can just go and have a quick look at the range and stop. Is it showing us? Let's have a look at the range and stop. So here, range and stop, as you can see, this was basically yesterday. We were just tapping around towards the top of the level. We actually pushed the range up a bit, and then came and tested the new lower end of the range, broke through it again, but was supported by it. And then from the bottom of the range, just a textbook move back to the top of the range, and then we break through that ceiling. So we've now started a new range here. So again, range and stop, very good tool for looking at levels to buy and sell. It's a very good tool. I know that people have a sort of thing called like a 3 commas grid bot. and you could use this in conjunction with that quite nicely to give you like sort of the range you want to be working around. So yeah, large time frame Dominator still green. We'll have a look at the Dominator and DMT as well. DMT is obviously having a bit of a hard time with these insane moves. So obviously the sell trade, but that was triggered on the close of the candle. But obviously the sell line was here, so you could sell it across that line at 9,900, and you would have made a fantastic profit. This is based on the close of that 15-minute candle. And then again, here was our buy line, but this kind of did scam wick you into a bit of a trade, came down, and now we're higher again. But BTC is being difficult at the moment. And then yeah, overall here we had a great DMT trade here. Nothing bad we can say about that. I mean, you can take these losses, look, from here to here on DMT, even if you're just getting stopped out of what is basically 1.6%, which is nothing compared to basically getting a move where it takes you up 16%. So yeah, and that's obviously if you're taking it from that line where you could have bought it basically a bit lower. And then also this one here, if you take it from the sell line, you could have taken it from there, and then you would have actually went about 13% in profit. So depending on how you manage your risk, large time frame Dominator got us in a nice buy here. We sort of did play around and then moved up again. The sell trade again, not so good, but it stopped you out long, and that got you into a profit, even though it did get into a bit of a loss first. And then clearly this Dominator got you a really good trade there. Got you in profit, but not too much going on. Got you in a nice long here, but again, Bitcoin's been difficult. Faked out to the downside first and then up. A bit of down movement there, and then this got a nice buy on this candle, which is literally exactly the same buy as the DMT. Buy on this candle got us a very nice, nice move up anyway for that part of the trend. So yeah, that's DMT and Dominator. That's our range and stop. Have we got the daily? Let me try refreshing it. Can't be reached. No internet. Oh well. At least I can record. And yeah. So thanks for listening, guys. Remember, it's not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and yeah, don't forget to smash the likes button, hit that thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, definitely consider subscribing. I'll be very appreciative of that, and I will speak to you soon.